some great drafter. How come he can't get the edge right? Bro, this is his actions. Let me put this out here for you. Yes, Prince, check this out. Do me a favor, guys. When was Nolan Smith drafted? This began then. When Nolan Smith was drafted, what year was he drafted? What year was Nolan Smith? Okay. What year was he drafted? 23. Okay. Let me show you your history here since 2023 at Edge. 2023. What was he, the 30th pick in the draft? Right? He was like the 30th pick. First rounder. You ended up signing Bryce Huff. Right? Bryce Huff. You signed for $17.5. Free agency, correct? You signed him for $17.5. Then you found out that guy was a bum. And in 2024, you went into the season, you had Sweat, and you had Smith, you had Milton, and you had a formidable defensive line. And it was really a good defense. And all those guys were feeding off of one another. Well, because the unit was so strong and so good, everybody benefited. Corners, D-line, linebackers, you hit on Bond. Oren Burks was even a fucking player. Isaiah Rodgers was even a player. All of those guys benefited. 25 comes, you lose Milton, you lose Isaiah, and you lose Josh Sweat. I told you this past offseason. I said, you think Jalen Carter's going to be a better ball player not having Milton and Josh Sweat on the team? All of you said those two guys benefited more from Jalen Carter than vice versa. Well, you turned out to be wrong because Jalen Carter was dog shit, was hurt, and those other guys excelled. One guy had 12 sacks, and the other guy was playing in a Super Bowl. So you were wrong. So in that process, you ended up paying $17.5. And then you come out of that year, you go in and you sign $7.5 million worth of team ends. Joshua Uche and the other guy, Ojulari. Those two steps. Well, right now you're at $25 million in cash that you spent between Huff and the Temu signings. Well, that shit didn't pan out that many of you said were. This is since 2020, the offseason of 23, since you drafted Nolan Smith. Smith doesn't turn out to be the guy. You end up having to go put a third rounder in for Jalen Phillips. This is since 2023, the pick of Nolan Smith. Now you got a third rounder on the table. What happens now in the offseason? You lose Jalen Phillips by $2.5 million or $3 million, I think it is. Yeah, 2.5. You offered him 27.5. He takes the 30 in the fourth year. So what do? Now your plan is what? Is to go get Jonathan Grenard and give up a 3 and a 5 and 30? So you want to give a 3 and a 5 and 30. Here's the two calculations you missed on. You missed on the evaluation of Sweat. And secondly, here's what you've done since 2023. It looks like you've wasted a first-round pick on Nolan Smith, who looks like a third-rounder. You wasted $25 million on Temu signings that you did with Ojulari and Uche. And now you want to give up 3 and a 5 and pay a guy 30 since 2023. What fucking plan is that? What plan is that? What's the plan at Edge? Help me out here. You haven't had a plan since 23. I keep hearing there's a plan. Where's the plan? And there's a good one too. And then you went back and you signed Grandpa Graham. I mean, since 2003, you've burned a first rounder. You've burned $25 million. Now you want to, and you burned a third round pick. And now you want to burn a 3 and a 5 and 30 on a guy. All you had to do was do this. Hey, I get it with Phillips. You didn't want to pay the 30. Well, what's your fucking plan? To go into the draft? Now you're going to go into the draft at 23 and draft a guy and think he's going to be an impact guy? Help me out here. Listen, Prince, I'm looking for a plan. Get this. Make our F sound like Bills or Giants. I'm asking you what, bro, I'm promoting out what you're doing. This ain't a take. This is not a take. This is exactly what you've done at edge. This is not an opinion. There's no opinion here. I mean, I'm not sure what you're talking about, Reyes. What's the opinion on what you've done? Bro, if the Eagles thought that Nolan Smith was a star player last year, they wouldn't have traded for Jalen Phillips. Hunt was the guy on the other side. Bro, you're going off the rails. Sills, there was nothing after Nolan in the draft. Howie then trade the fuck out of it. Dude, I'm not crying over spilt milk. I'm asking you what your plan is on March 24th at Edge. You're in this position since 23. That's 3 years ago. The only saving grace is how he usually benefits after he has makes some mistakes as far as Edge. He put himself in a bad spot. He's in a bad spot. One-year gap fill with Cam Jurgen. Kick the can at the position and hope you hit in the 26 and 27 draft and see who's available next offseason. The plan is for Hunt and Nolan to improve like BG did. Bro, those two guys are not starting edge rushers. Chill, dude, you're getting worked. I'm not getting worked up. Free agency or the draft, dingus, it's not that hard. You have not gotten the edge position right in 15 years. No, since Sweat. You haven't got an edge right. When was what's his name drafted? Josh Sweat. You haven't got an edge right since Josh Sweat was drafted. Is Smith bulking up this season? He needs to put on at least 15 to 20 pounds. I don't think it's got anything to do with weight. I think it's got everything to do with him being built for the league, just like Nakobe. Since 2018, you haven't got the edge right. Yes, you are. You're so worried about our plan when this team has always made the playoffs. Bro, making the playoffs? What are you, the fucking Atlanta Braves of back in the day with Smoltz and Glavine? Seals, you were wrong on Davis. I'm not wrong on Davis. I think Davis had a nice year. I'm not paying a two-down guy $26 fucking million. And I'm going to be taking a $26 million guy off the field